Alright, so I'm doing revenue generation strategies and cost saving strategies for the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. And bear with me, my dog just woke up, so you might hear him in the background, but let's keep going. So the first cost saving strategy I thought up was cutting student athlete non-travel meals by 20%. Currently, they're spending $170,782 on student athlete meals per year, which honestly I think that's a bit high. I feel like they could find vendors who sell their food and still be healthy for cheaper. And lowering it down 20% would save the program $34,156.40 per year, which over time would add up very quickly. So that would bring the total cost to $136,625.60 per year, rather than spending 170 or $170,782 per year. Another cost saving strategy I thought of was cutting team travel down by 10%. They spend $79,638 per year on student athlete travel. Cutting it only 10%, it would lower it to $71,674.20, which saves the school about $8,000 per year. The men's basketball travel budget was way higher than any of the other sports programs. They had a $58,737 budget, which is way higher than any of the other sports teams, including football. So you could lower men's basketball alone about 8,000, and that would make up that 10%, while also not touching the other sports. And I think lowering it by 10%, so like $8,000, lowering the basketball budget, I don't think honestly will affect them that much. They might have to find a cheaper bus, but overall, I don't think it would affect them that much. Also, I found on a website, Public School Review, having men's and women's sports compete on the same day at the same place would help cut down on travel costs because they could just travel together instead of having to take two separate trips, which would, in the long run, save them a lot of money. The last cost saving strategy I thought of was cutting the sports equipment by 18%. So right now they're spending about $91,000 on sport equipment. Cutting it by 18% would lower it to about $74,500, which I still think is plenty of money to be able to buy everything sports teams need. Even if you have to, get the off-brand of something, it still works the same. It still gets the job done. Um, so lowering it by 18%, you're saving, $15,000 a year, which again would add up in the long run. So moving on to revenue enhancing strategies, the first revenue enhancing strategy I thought of was renting out facilities to local high schools. So basketball games and many other sports, they do their state championships, usually at a pretty big arena. Uh, like in the picture shown, it looks like Fremont High School is playing at, I'm assuming, one of the local universities' arenas. By renting your arenas out, you're making money by not pretty much not doing anything. Just renting it out. I put in the paper an example. If you rent out for $5,000 the high school basketball game, you just rent it out, let them play, make sure they clean up, go in and make sure everything's good, and you make money by doing that. And plus, you can make money, percentage of the shares off tickets being sold to these games. With more seats to fill, more tickets will be sold. So, in turn, will help the high school make more money, also giving the university a little extra side money. The next revenue enhancing strategy I had was starting camps. If you had the head coach of the football team starting a football camp, tons of kids are going to want to go to that, and tons of parents are going to want to pay for that. Um, Even if you just have the coach volunteer to do it, you wouldn't have to pay him. So all the money you make goes directly to the school. Let's say you have 100 kid camp for a weekend, charge them anywhere from $300 to $500 per child. Uh, I mean, that's a great way of making money, and it's a great way to get these kids interested in your school for in the long run. You know, if they become some stud football player, they can say, "Hey, I know this coach. I went to this camp. He's a great guy. Let me go here." So not only helping you with revenue enhancing, but uh, it could help you in the long run with recruiting as well. And recruiting helps with anything. We already know the big schools like Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, they get the best recruiting. Therefore, they make the most money because all these great athletes go to these schools. Everyone wants to watch them. So I think this is a very good way for revenue enhancing. Also, in the long run, this will help out the school a lot. The last revenue enhancing idea I had was fundraising. There's tons of different kind of fundraisers you can do. I put the picture up of a an auction. You could auction off, some school items like I don't know, an autographed football or basketball or what have you, anything pretty much. Um, so I think fundraising, a lot of schools do it. If University of Louisiana Lafayette did it more, then more money coming in. And so that's pretty much everything. Those are my three cost saving strategies and my three revenue saving strategies. Thanks.